Alright guys, so we're going to start our new unit on geography. So we're going to start out by learning a few geography vocabulary terms, okay? So the first term is going to be latitude. So there's these things called latitude and longitude, and what it is, it's a way of measuring. And they each measure distance. One goes north to south and one goes east to west, okay? There's a trick to remember which one's which, and I'll tell you that in a second. But first, let's get the definition. So latitude measures north to south. And a good way to remember this is that lat is flat. So when you see lines on a globe, so it'll be like this. This is our globe. Okay, there's our globe. I'm gonna make it look like Earth a little bit. Okay, we got some pieces in here. Okay, that's Earth. Okay. So latitude, lat is flat, so the lines go straight across. So these are latitude lines. Okay. Now when I say they measure north to south, that's the distance between the lines. So it's going to be in between the lines right there. Okay. Now the second one we have to know is called longitude. Longitude just runs the opposite way. So the second one is longitude, and it measures east to west. Remember the distance between the lines. So longitude lines go straight down. They go from the North Pole to the South Pole. And they measure going east to west or left to right. Okay, and if you can't remember that, we can draw little compass rose, right? So here's north, there's south, oops, north, west and east, okay? So, there's your little compass rose so you know which direction. These lines help locate something on Earth. So for example, I'll use pink. Let's say Mr. Lara was located right here. Right where that star is, okay? Now if I'm lost, let's just say I'm adventuring and I'm lost, I have to give my coordinates to somebody. So I take my latitude, so whatever degrees that is, and my longitude, wherever degrees that is, they measure, right? And I give them those coordinates. So it would be like 15 degrees and 72 degrees, and they'd be able to find me, okay? I just made that up, that's not the actual location, but that's how they'd be able to find me. And so these are both measured in degrees, so I'm just gonna add that up here actually. So degrees, degrees, these are also degrees. And it also makes it easier too because there's a term that we use to sort of divide the globe in half. Okay, and this is called hemisphere. Okay, and a hemisphere is literally one half of the globe. Okay, so it's half a sphere. The Earth is a sphere, and this would be half of it, so it's half of the globe. So if I went like this, and I divided, right? This side would be the Western Hemisphere, this side would be the Eastern Hemisphere. If I divided it this way, right, this top part would be the Northern Hemisphere, and this bottom part would be the Southern Hemisphere. And the reason why these three terms are super important is because we're going to be watching a video clip And they talk about these things. They talk about latitude, they talk about longitude, the hemispheres, finding a location, the degrees. So it's important to have these notes that you can look back on and that we know before we go into the video, all right? So let's get into the video and then we can use these to kind of follow along also. Here we go.